learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your Watchlist coming in August 18th, 2020, and the stock market is going to hit new highs. We are approaching all-time highs. I believe the NASDAQ hit more new highs today, but S&P and Dow, they're right there. But I think I have the reasoning why. So I want to talk about that, talk about what happened in the market today. It really wasn't much. Again, we were looking for certain things yesterday or coming into today, and it was a slow week. This was a slow start. A lot of the same focus we've been looking on from last week. However, there has been some plays, and I have identified pretty much the three areas to look at as far as what type of news has been moving stocks and the market in general. So I got the keys, I got the plays, and what we're looking at for tomorrow. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's that first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the stock market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, if you're looking for a good Monday place or even a Friday place, yeah, that's where you want to be. So we had a lot of fun, and God bless you, and I hope you're ready, but not too ready, jumpy, and because there's a lot happening, and wait for the election and everything else. Okay, but the most important thing you need to do, post or watch this below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to all the people who posted on the random comment play, and even in general, and shout out to you, Matt, as well. You could catch him in the comment sections, and everybody else who has been active in there. I see you all, and we love you, and thank you, and keep sourcing that information. Hopefully it has been helping over the last year or so. But right off the bat, the first thing, like I said, today was a slow start. All you really saw today was the election and the stimulus. You saw the rally from Trump. We talked about that. It was very political. It was interesting, and there's going to be the whole politics of that. But again, that fits into the larger theme of what we've been saying. Again, the events before the election and then what could happen following the election, but now also the stimulus in focus. So this is now what I'm expecting. This is just off of my own opinion from listening to some of the rally and kind of even the tone. And we are at a pretty crucial level. Again, bonds and commodities and all the other stuff I've been showing you, it's at a weird point. So pretty much following this post earnings, there's either going to be a natural melt up, or what I'm really expecting is some sort of virus or vaccine news kind of in the back pocket to kind of push markets up, or even used politically, maybe hand in hand. I'm not too sure, but I think that will be our driver to make us go to new highs. So if we don't hit new highs even here, or depending on if it's slow, that is going to be interesting. And depending on what happens from here, this is where I'm saying there could be an event before the election, September, October, November. So it's a pretty large window. You don't want to get too jumpy, but at the same time, it is still kind of short term. But we heard from Trump today. He's kind of saying, I think they're going to frame it as coming at the other end of the tunnel, and would expect news like that, or even new guidance, even if the market kind of buys that, to push things higher again, like I'm saying, vaccine news. So watch out for that. That's what I'm looking out for. Again, that's just my random opinion. None of this recommendation. Opportunities can't lose almost offenders, lose offenders, think everyone's play, but you get it. But now the other thing this week, like I said from yesterday, we are going to have the Fed minutes. That may move the market. I really don't think so. Again, if there's something new or there's any difference or dissent in kind of the opinion, that could be important. But again, you guys remember this last Fed meeting was important. The minutes that are coming out this week are for the Fed meeting last month. So that one was kind of important. There might be something like maybe, but I think it's like a 5% chance of something important. Lately, the Fed minutes shouldn't really move too much, but you're going to get that PMI data and some of that other stuff this week too. But for the most part, stimulus and election is going to be key. And then this morning, we barely heard anything from the stimulus, just more news that they haven't came to agreement, nothing really moving it forward. So watch out for that. And then finally, these are the three things I was talking about: partnerships, mergers and acquisitions, and then vaccine or FDA news. These have been the main drivers of news. So if you look at some of the plays that we've been making over this last week, or even the plays that we did not get into that have moved a lot, it seems like they fall in these general categories. Now, this is most of the categories of news, but it's kind of to piece it, and so you could kind of see how things have been reacted in the plays that have been good and profitable and causing big moves in the stock. And again, just what is moving the market here. So partnerships, if you're seeing like Amazon partner up with another company, again, one of the plays even today was like RXT. This thing, I think they said Amazon, I don't know if they're buying them or partnering. That's one of those. But we even saw like rumors with mergers and acquisitions, but we've even seen some of those occur. And then, of course, the vaccine and FDA, stuff like that. Even TMO was one of those. That was FDA news, but you've seen all the bio stocks. So this is kind of what I'm looking for. Again, if the policy and politics side and how the broader scope, the macro doesn't move the market, these are going to be kind of the micro stuff I'm looking at to see, okay, this might be newsworthy or noteworthy to follow for a play. So that is pretty much it. I hope it helps. I hope you're going to be patient because things are moving slow. However, there is still a lot of opportunity. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, the first play, this was TMO that we made. This is one that we did off of the news. It was FDA related. And again, I think it may be a little bit more aggressive, or the news got interpreted aggressive, but I still think it's kind of important, and I just like these types of plays here too. Again, if you guys even remember from the credit spread videos, you know, stocks when they're either at like all-time highs or even like lows, or kind of how we've been looking at even like Gap and some of those laggers and leaders, I like those. So that's what kind of justified the play. But then there was also the news that the FDA said they're giving a warning on their test kit. And again, this has been responsible for why they went up. But I think it's just saying that they're just going to add like a warning label or something of that nature, which could affect it. So what we did here, I bought 10 of them, and you could tell this was kind of one of those news flips. Again, FDA related. This was a news move. I was talking about this with even trying to snake the chain. I did get this one because it started, you could even tell with the timing, but this one was decent. I still didn't get it at like the best price, and it went up. So that's why I did a quick flip out of it, got 10 of them. And again, the reason why I wasn't really too confident, since what we saw last week after we hit those, again, the prices would just get jacked up before anything. Again, you guys could even watch this one live. Even before I had time to even type everything out and do all that, it shot up a lot. So I've been really cautious on the premium, but I still went in 10 contracts at 30 cents, 300. The other place I was doing like $1,000 or so. So it shot up. I was able to sell 4 back at $1.10. Got $410 back, made a little bit of a profit, but now I'm still holding the last 6. So that was the first play. We did make other movements on this account, but I'll give you guys the second play that I like. This one, I don't have a play in it. I'm looking at it. I think they have their earnings coming up here, but Ulta, I just kind of like how they're looking. So I haven't got to see the premium, but I'm hoping that premium has kind of died out over the last few days. But I want to look at them. And again, kind of what I've been telling you guys, laggers and leaders, they look like they've been very, very gappy, or even just on the 1-year chart and haven't moved too much in between. So maybe there's a big move. So I'm going to eye this for the premium. Again, I'm 50-50. We may have to take it to the coin. Again, depending on what the premiums are, that has been something I've been watching lately, and it's made me more hesitant on plays, or if I don't trust the premium, I have to go with the small amount. But now I know Ulta is going to be expensive. So we will see, but that's one I'm going to be watching, and that's a new stock. Lately, we haven't really talked about it too much. And then finally, in the Tesla ghetto spread. So we'll go over the final plays that I made on the account, but this play, the Tesla ghetto spread, man, I mean, not only just that, I mean, I think if you haven't ghetto spreaded it, I think you might have a good opportunity to take advantage of it if you got some of the trades we got earlier this week. I did it earlier this week, but even now, again, kind of along this whole concept I'm talking about, Tesla's at an all-time high, but even what I've noticed with the premiums, we've seen this before, and I don't want to sound like that guy. I know it's going to happen. I'm like, I've traded Tesla like 3 times. I know how it moves now. So I want to humbly, make sure that I'm humbly going to not want to get humbled, but the premiums are really interesting. I think it might be a good time to sell some credit spreads. Possibly, again, do not try this. None of this is a recommendation. If you don't know how Tesla trades, especially the credit spreads, be careful. Do not sell anything naked, especially on the call side. Puts are always safer to sell on the credit spread, if anything. But again, credit spread, don't go naked on those. But I like it. I might even set up for those. So even remind me of those tomorrow. We could even look at it. But now back to that Tesla in general. This is what I'm saying. And Tesla is at an interesting point here because the stock is reaching this all-time high, but the premiums have been moving really, really wacky. So remember, we got this play after this split news. And again, remember too, you might want to flip out of it before then. That would be hopefully the plan, because you don't know how it's going to even convert, and then you're shorting premium. Again, if you're not familiar with that, watch yourself. But this is the ghetto spread play. You can see here we got the furthest out the money. And the problem with this, and what you're going to notice here, is because they are out of the money. They're really far out of the money. Not like out of the money like crazy far out. Again, this is like a $3,500 call or a $3,400 one. So remember, we bought it for $350 last week, and then what happened? The stock shot up, but pretty much since then, you know, the stock has moved about $200 and something. There's the stock right there, but now here's the option itself. You could see that it went up, but it's pretty much, for the most part, the stock's at a new high. The option's reaching this point. So what's going on? It's both the implied volatility and the fact that it's really, really far out of the money. So you can see the closer it to the money, they reflect the stock. But at one point on the Tesla options, when you're reaching a breaking point pretty much around this like 2,800, 2,900, or even 3,000 range, where the contracts are just breaking above where they were at after that first run up, because they're really far out the money. So even though the stock's moved up $200, it's doing it at a slower pace. Even with what someone was willing to pay for it, it's changing those break evens, and they're not appreciating the same. So this is what I wanted to highlight here, because we've saw this where essentially on Tesla, the option kind of holds the premium when the stock goes down, but when the stock starts going up, if it's not ripping at a really fast pace, the option goes down in value. So that's why we ghetto spreaded this. So we bought this at $350. We ghetto spread the 3,500 call. We bought the 34. You could see we own the 34. We sold the option above it for more money than we paid. I got $650 back. I spent $350 for the closer to the money. So it's a guaranteed $300 profit no matter what. And then I still have a $10,000 upside if Tesla magically went crazy, but it probably won't. But now in this case, you'll notice something. Here's the overall play. This is what happened here on the day, but now you literally have $304. That's the profit we'd make if it expired worthless. But now you also got $22 here. So we're slightly above that. But what I'm pretty much expecting here is that this is a good time to pretty much ghetto spread it, because now at some point, even if the stock moves up, these are really close together, but it's offering a really, really good risk to reward on some of these ghetto spreads and types of plays, because it would really take a lot. Now, we'll see what happens with Tesla, but it reminds me kind of the SCO play in a weird way. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to want to look towards some of these credit spreads and all that tomorrow. So little mini ghetto spread lesson, and you could see that. But as far as everything else, Walmart earnings are going to be tomorrow morning. TD was being very, very weird today. It was really, really hard to log in. A lot of people had the issues. So I had the big position on my other account. I couldn't get to it. I wanted to hold these, but I was like, all right, well, I couldn't trim on the other account, so I said I just got rid of this completely, sold out of those. Remember, these were the 1,000% play or 2,000%, so we took the profits earlier. Remember, we got this play like a month ago, so we held till earnings. I sold out here because I couldn't trim on the other one. So those were the only other plays we made today. Like I said, watch those 3 areas of news, and then the Ulta and Tesla plays. And then even as far as everything else, RXT, that thing went crazy today. They got rack space, the news with Amazon, or I think Amazon, I don't know if Amazon going to buy them or they're going to partner. I tried to snake the chain. I put a limit at 10 for even 100 of them. I couldn't get filled. It went too crazy, but then it came down. I was like, I didn't really like it. And again, a lot of the chains right now when news is breaking, they're both a lot of people rushing towards them and the market makers being a little bit more cautious. So been difficult, but watch them. That's probably going to be a good follow tomorrow. Watch GOLD. Again, Barrick Gold ended up closing higher, but the premiums were insane right at open, again, off the news and all the people rushing in. Another play was NVIDIA. We have those plays. They went up a lot, but I looked at the options. They have their earnings coming up, but you only made, even if you got them right in the morning, even on the weekly, you were really only making about 100% off of a 7% move on the stock. So these are actually kind of pretty expensive even on the short term. So watch them, watch Ulta. I think Google had some antitrust type news after hours. It didn't really move it. Watch Twilio. I like them as well too. Kind of remind me of Ulta, but some of these growth stocks, again, if they've kind of chilled out, but we'll see. Again, NASDAQ had a good day and is at the all-time highs. Then Overstock, this thing's going crazy again. This thing was at like $6 and now it's at 120. I just think it was fascinating. I want to see if there will be cheap premiums again, any gaps or anything we could take advantage of, but watch that. That's a big mover. Gap did very, very well. Still watching it, still liking it, but the longer term options actually went down today. So that's something I noticed. And then watch Microsoft just in the name of tech and everything else. And then finally, TLT, SLV, they went up. But again, GLD, SLV premiums were just through the roof today. A lot of stuff, again, it started off active in the morning and then just died down. But a lot of the premiums were already very, very high. Expectations were very, very high this morning. But watch those again. TLT, some people were saying the Fed might start buying some stuff tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, should be a slow but exciting week with a little bit of opportunity sprinkled on it, so I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to balance the budget. Don't forget the cash balance. And please, please, please don't ever forget the long term. It won't forget about you. And don't forget that Colt loves you. I love you. I'm going to see you in the morning. Let's go.